What up, world? Established Rich coming right back at you. Listen, this Young Thug and Gunna situation, this is bigger than just a few lines in a song. This is bigger than a tweet. This is about legacy, image, and pride. It's about how the industry and the streets react when two people who built something together end up on opposite sides of the fence.
Now let me break it down for the people in the back.
May 2022, Fulton County. The RICO indictment drops. YSL, 28 people swept up. They're saying it's not just music. They're saying it's a game. Not just any gang, a criminal enterprise. They got wiretaps, they got text messages, they got social media posts. The prosecution is painting a full image of a criminal enterprise. Not a label, but of an organization with Young Thug as the leader, the founder, the man who took slime from a street slang to a global brand. Gunna, the star player, the most streamed artist on the roster, both locked up, both facing decades if convicted. And here's where it starts to turn. Gunna is only in jail for a few months. December 2022, he walks into court and takes an Alfred plea. He doesn't admit guilt, but he admits the prosecution has enough evidence on him to convict him. As part of that deal, he admits that YSL is a gang. He admits he knows about criminal activity. The second that clip hit the internet, the narrative writes itself. Gunna snitched. He finished. He can't come back to Atlanta. People were ready to write his career obituary. But then something happened nobody expected. Months after, other YSL members started taking deals. Young Thug's own brother took a plea deal. Same admission. Other associates, deals. Same words. YSL is a gang. We know about criminal activity. And then Young Thug himself took a plea deal. Admits the same thing. 15 years probation. So now I'm looking at this like, what exactly did Gunna do that was different? The same basic facts were said by the same people, including the man himself. But this ain't just about court transcripts. This is about perception. And perception in hip-hop is everything. Gunna walks out of jail and hits the ground running. A gift and a curse drops. Then Fuck You Mean takes over the summer. Then 101. Then The Last Wun. Streaming numbers are crazy. He's selling out shows, packing festivals. The people are still rocking with him. And here's where it gets messy. I think Thug expected public opinion to wash Gunna away. I think he thought the industry would turn its back on Gunna. I think he expected the streets to do the same. Leave Gunna out in the cold, but that didn't happen. If anything, it's the opposite. Gunna might be hotter now than he's ever been. And that's when we see it. The tweet from Thug's account. Gunna, stop acting like we friends on the internet. I don't know you, my guy. It gets deleted quick, but everybody saw it. And Gunna, he wasn't shy about responding. On the song Prototype, he says, nigga had tweeted my name. Must have been a typo. He let it be known. He heard it, and he's not backing down. Then we get the leak from the Lil Baby record. Thug spitting, only reason I fuck with you, Gunna, it was because of Troop. Troop is a mutual friend between Young Thug and Gunna. That line tells you everything. This was not a brotherhood for life. It was a connection to somebody else. And when that somebody else is gone, the foundation gets weak. But here's the reality. This don't feel like street code anymore. This feels personal. It feels like pride. This feels like jealousy. People forget, sitting in a cell for 2 years, it don't just take your freedom, it takes your timing. Hip-hop moves fast. What's hot today can be old in 6 months. While Thug's been fighting for his life, Gunna has been evolving his sound, dropping consistently, touring, connecting with fans. And that kind of momentum is deadly in the competitive market. But Atlanta politics play a role here too. Atlanta is built on collaborations, but they hold grudges. When two major forces like this are on opposite sides, it forces people to pick sides. Artists, producers, DJs, promoters. But the sides are not split and clean. You would think Thug's status as the OG would make him the favorite. But Gunna's making better music right now. And in this business, quality music can erase a lot of so-called violations. But I don't think this ends well for either one of them if it keeps going. Every time Thug takes a shot, it puts more spotlight on Gunna. And every time Gunna responds, it makes Thug look reactive, like he's moving off emotion and not strategy. I've seen this before. Ja Rule and 50 Cent, Pusha T and Drake, beef that takes on a life of its own. But the difference here is these two were family, label mates, partners in building a brand. When that blows up, the fallout is not just music. It's money, it's relationships, it's legacy. And if I'm Thug, I just let this go. Focus on the music. Focus on rebuilding. Because right now, Gunna is winning the music game and the people are riding with him. You can't argue with that. Not in 2025. Not when every stream counts. Not when public perception is half the battle. So the question is this about street codes? Or is this about the fact that the man you thought would fall off without you is thriving? Let me be clear. Street code is not some universal law. It's different from block to block, city to city, click to click. What one group calls snitching, another group may call survival. But in hip hop, that word is deadly. It can wipe out a career overnight if people believe it. And here's the thing. The people don't believe it enough to walk away from Gunna. Why? Because the music hits too hard. Because he came back strong with records that stuck. No excuses, no long speeches. Just record after record. And the fans responded. This is where it gets uncomfortable for a lot of artists still in that street mentality. It shows that the crowd cares more about hits than history. They'll forgive. They'll overlook if the songs are good enough, and Gunna proved that. So when Thug takes these shots, whether it's a tweet or a verse, it's coming off like bitterness, like frustration that the playbook didn't work. Like he wanted the world to cancel Gunna, and the world said, nah, we good. And that's a hard pill to swallow, especially when you're locked down, especially when your own catalog is on pause. And that's the other piece here. Time away from hip-hop is everything, because hip-hop changes fast, flows change, production style changes. Even the slang can change in just 6 months. So if you're out of the loop for 2 years, you playing catch up the minute you touch a microphone. Meanwhile, Gunna's been evolving, developing his relationship with Turbo, tapping into new sounds, locking in with a younger audience. He's not just picking up where he's left off, he's moving ahead, and that creates a gap that's hard to close. So now, this beef is not just about loyalty or principles. It's about who's hot and who's not. It's about who's active and who's inactive. And in music, that can mean everything. So where does this end? If history tells us anything, either somebody squashes it or it gets ugly. Because when two people this close start arguing it out, it's never just about the music. They know each other too well. They know where to hit. They know what to say. And that's why this situation is dangerous. Because the longer it goes, the deeper it cuts. And at some point, you're not just rapping anymore. You burning bridges that you can't rebuild. Thug's got too much to lose. His freedom, his legacy, his future in music. Gunna's got his momentum, his fan base, his reputation, whatever's left of it. And if they keep clashing, both stand to lose more than they could gain. That's why if I'm being real, the smartest move is to let it die. Stop giving it life. Because the truth is, the fans don't care about the beef like that. They care about the songs. And right now, one of these two is making better songs than the other. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe, establish rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.